Hey everyone, welcome back. So today we're talking about entitled people, the Karens and Kens of the world who genuinely believe rules don't apply to them. You know the type. Demanding managers, parking spot thieves, people who think the world revolves around their convenience. We collected stories about entitled people who finally faced consequences. Some petty, some satisfying, all absolutely deserved. Hit like if you've encountered one of these people, subscribe for more, and share your own entitled person stories in the comments. Let's get into it.
I live in an apartment complex. Assigned parking spots, my spot is clearly marked with my unit number. My neighbor, let's call him Ken, kept parking in my spot every single day. First time, I left a polite note, "Hey, this is my assigned spot. Could you please park in yours?" He ignored it, parked there the next day. I talked to him directly. He said, "I park where I want. It's closer to my door." "Sir, we both pay rent. I paid for this spot specifically." He said if it bothered me so much, I should get over it or move. I called the apartment management. They sent him warnings. He ignored those too. This went on for 2 months. I'm parking on the street every night, paying for a spot I can't use. Then I learned the complex has a towing policy. Any car in the wrong spot can be towed at owner's expense. I called the towing company, had his car towed, cost him $350 to get it back. He came pounding on my door, screaming about how I'm a jerk. How dare I tow his car? I said, "You were in my assigned spot. That's the policy." He said it was just a parking spot, not worth $350. Then maybe park in your own spot. He parked there again the next week. I had him towed again, another $350, plus his car was towed to a lot 40 minutes away. Third time he parked there, third tow. He finally stopped. Total cost to him, over $1,000, all because he couldn't be bothered to walk an extra 20 feet to his own spot.
$1,000 in towing fees rather than just parking in his own spot? The entitlement of, I park where I want, until it costs him money. Then suddenly it matters. 3 separate tows. Most people learn after one. This guy needed the lesson tattooed on his forehead, apparently. And screaming about how it's just a parking spot? Exactly. So park in yours. Next story.
I was working checkout on a Saturday. Busy day, long lines. Woman comes to my register with a full cart, starts unloading. Everything's fine until I start scanning. She hands me a stack of coupons. First coupon is expired by 6 months. I tell her politely. She says, "Just scan it anyway." I explain our system won't accept expired coupons, literally won't process them. She raises her voice. "I drove all the way here. You will take my coupons." "Ma'am, I physically cannot. The computer rejects expired coupons." She demands to speak to my manager. I call him over. Manager looks at the coupons, tells her the same thing. They're expired. We can't accept them. She starts yelling. Everyone in line is staring. She's screaming about false advertising, about being discriminated against. It's not discrimination. It's a date on the coupon. She sweeps her arm across the checkout belt, knocks groceries everywhere, stuff falls on the floor, a jar of pickles shatters. Then she says, "I'm never shopping here again." Manager, completely calm, says, "That would be great, actually. You're banned." Her face goes red. "You can't ban me." He pulls out a form, starts filling it out. "I absolutely can. You just destroyed store property and created a safety hazard. You're trespassed from all locations." She stands there, mouth open. She didn't expect consequences. Security escorts her out. She's screaming the whole way about calling corporate. Next customer in line starts clapping. Then everyone joins in. I had to clean up smashed pickles, but watching her get banned was worth it.
You can't ban me. Watch this. The confidence to throw a tantrum and assume there won't be consequences is staggering. The manager just calmly pulling out the trespass form while she's still yelling. That's experienced management right there. And the applause from other customers. Everyone in that line was waiting for justice. She's still probably telling people she was discriminated against for expired coupons. Moving on.
I work at a high-end restaurant. Reservations required, especially weekends. We book up weeks in advance. Saturday night, completely full, every table reserved. A guy walks in with a date, no reservation. I tell him politely we're fully booked. He says, "Just give me a table." I explain we require reservations. I can put him on the wait list, but it'll be at least 2 hours. He looks around, sees an empty table, points to it. "That table is empty. Seat me there." "That table has a reservation in 15 minutes. He says, "They're not here yet. Give it to me. If they show up, I'll move." That's not how reservations work. I explain this. He starts getting louder, telling his date how this is terrible service, how I'm being unreasonable. His date looks embarrassed. He demands to speak to the manager. I get my manager. Manager explains the same thing. We're fully booked. He can wait or try another restaurant. Guy pulls out his phone. "Do you know who I am? I have 50,000 followers. I'll destroy your restaurant online." My manager, without missing a beat, "Then you should have made a reservation." The guy's face goes red. He starts recording on his phone, says he's going to post about this. Manager stays calm. "You're welcome to post about being told we require reservations, like everyone else." The guy storms out. His date apologizes to us before following him. He did post about it, said we were elitist and refused to serve him. Comments roasted him, people asking why he didn't make a reservation, calling him entitled. He deleted the post within a day. Meanwhile, we're still fully booked every weekend. Turns out you can't cancel a successful restaurant with bad behavior.
Do you know who I am? The rallying cry of people nobody actually knows. 50,000 followers, and he thought that would intimidate a restaurant manager into breaking policy? The manager's response, "Then you should have made a reservation." Perfection. No debate, just facts. And posting about it backfiring spectacularly? The internet occasionally gets it right. His date apologizing before leaving tells you everything. She knew he was being ridiculous. Next story.
I was flying cross-country. Paid extra for an exit row seat. More legroom. I'm tall, so it's worth it. Board the plane, get to my seat, settle in. Woman approaches me, has a middle seat in the back, says she wants my seat. I say, "Sorry, this is my assigned seat." She says she has bad knees, needs the extra legroom. I have bad knees too. That's why I paid for the seat. She says I'm young and should give it to her because she's older. I'm not that young. I'm in my 40s. She looks maybe 60. I tell her no. She can ask the gate agent about seat changes. She huffs, goes back to her seat. 10 minutes later, flight attendant comes over, says the woman complained, asks if I'd be willing to switch. I say no. I paid extra for this seat specifically. Flight attendant nods, says that's fine, goes back to the woman. Woman starts loudly complaining, telling everyone around her how rude I am, how younger people have no respect. I ignore her, put in headphones. Mid-flight, she comes back, stands in the aisle, says, "You know, I could have just taken your seat. You should be grateful I asked." I take out my headphones, look at her. "If you'd taken my seat, I would have called the flight attendant and you'd have been moved, possibly removed from the flight. Be grateful I'm ignoring you." Flight attendant overhears. tells the woman to return to her seat and stop harassing passengers. Woman mutters the whole way back. After landing, multiple passengers came up to me, said they were sorry I had to deal with that. One guy said she complained about me the entire flight to anyone who'd listen, all because I wouldn't give up a seat I paid for.
You should be grateful, I asked. No, you should be grateful she didn't have you removed for harassment. The entitlement of demanding someone's seat and then playing victim when told no. The flight attendant backing her up is important. Airlines deal with this constantly. They know who's in the wrong. And complaining about her to other passengers for the entire flight. Lady, they don't care. They're trying to sleep. Next one.
I go to a gym that's usually pretty busy. Peak hours, you have to wait for equipment sometimes. Normal gym etiquette. There's this one guy, mid-40s, always in a tank top, who camps on equipment. He'll sit on a bench press for 30 minutes, on his phone, not working out, just sitting. When someone asks to work in, he says he's still using it. You're on Instagram. You're not using it. This happens constantly. Multiple machines. He treats the gym like his personal living room. I've asked to work in before. He said no. Said he has 5 more sets. 45 minutes later, he's still there. He did maybe 2 sets. Gym has a policy. If you're not actively using equipment, others can rotate in. I complained to management. They said they'd handle it. Next week, same thing. He's camping on the leg press. I'm waiting. Personal trainer walks over, tells him he needs to let others use the equipment or leave. Guy argues, says he's a paying member. He can use equipment as long as he wants. Trainer says, no, actually, gym rules state you can't monopolize equipment during peak hours. Guy gets loud, starts yelling about his rights, about being harassed. Manager comes over, tells him he's had multiple complaints, he needs to follow gym rules or his membership will be terminated. Guy says he'll sue. Manager says, go ahead. You signed a contract agreeing to these rules. Guy storms out, yelling about how this gym is terrible. Membership gets revoked that day for violating gym policies after multiple warnings. Haven't seen him since. Equipment's much more available now.
I'll sue over being asked to share gym equipment. Good luck with that. The 5 more sets that never materialize is classic equipment hog behavior. Paying for a membership doesn't mean you own the gym. It means you share it with other paying members. Shocking concept. Multiple complaints, multiple warnings, and he still thought he was the victim. Moving on.
I was getting married. My husband's ex-girlfriend, they dated briefly in college years ago, somehow found out about the wedding. We didn't invite her, obviously. They'd been broken up for 9 years. She wasn't part of our lives. Wedding day. Outdoor ceremony, everything's beautiful. I'm walking down the aisle. She shows up in a white dress. Not cream, not ivory, white, like a wedding dress. She sits in the back, just watching. Everyone notices, but the ceremony continues. Reception starts. She's still there, eating food, drinking, acting like a guest. My maid of honor approaches her. Hi, I don't think we've met. How do you know the couple? X says, oh, the groom and I have history. Maid of honor asks if she was invited. X says no, but she wanted to support him. My maid of honor gets security. We hired security for the venue. Security approaches X, asks to see her invitation. She doesn't have one. They escort her out. She starts screaming, causing a scene, yelling about how my husband still loves her, how I stole him. Lady, you dated for 4 months in 2015. She refuses to leave. Security has to physically walk her to the parking lot. She's screaming the whole time. Guests are filming. It's a disaster. Then she tries to re-enter through a side door. Security catches her. Police are called. She gets arrested for trespassing. Spent her night in jail while we spent ours at our reception. My husband was mortified. He hadn't spoken to her in years, had no idea she'd do this. The videos went semi-viral in our social circle. She became a local legend of crazy. Last I heard, she moved to another state. Probably for the best.
Showed up uninvited, in a white dress, to her ex's wedding after 8 years. The confidence required to crash a wedding and act surprised when you're removed. I wanted to support him by wearing white to his wedding and screaming about how he still loves you? Great support. Getting arrested for trespassing at a wedding you crashed is definitely one way to spend an evening. Moving to another state afterward was probably wise. Can't show your face in that town anymore. Next story.
I worked at an electronics store. We had a generous return policy. 30 days, receipt required, item in sellable condition. There was this woman who came in monthly with returns. Different items, always right at the 30-day mark. She'd buy expensive items, laptops, cameras, tablets, use them for almost a month, return them. Technically within policy, but clearly abusing it. Then we started noticing a pattern. Items came back damaged, scratched screens, missing accessories, not sellable. But she'd claim it arrived that way. We couldn't prove otherwise. This went on for a year, thousands of dollars in losses. She knew we couldn't refuse returns without proof of misuse. Corporate told us to flag her account, document everything. One day, she comes in with a laptop return, says it's defective, never worked properly. I open the box. Laptop has stickers all over it, personal stickers, photos, clearly been used extensively. I point this out. She says those were on it when she bought it. Ma'am, these are photos of you on the laptop. She backtracks, says maybe she put those on, but the laptop is still defective. I turn it on, works perfectly, no issues. She starts getting aggressive, demands the return, says it's her right. I call my manager. He reviews her account, sees the pattern, hundreds of returns, tens of thousands of dollars. He denies the return, says she's violated the return policy by using the item extensively and damaging it. She threatens to call corporate. He says, please do. We've been documenting your pattern for months. She calls corporate while standing there, on speakerphone, trying to intimidate us. Corporate rep looks up her account, sees the documentation, backs up the manager. Her membership gets canceled. She's banned from all store locations. She threatens to sue. Manager says, feel free. We have years of documented policy abuse. She storms out, tries to come back a week later. Security recognizes her, escorts her out immediately.
Years of scamming. Finally caught because she put her own photos on a laptop she claimed was defective from the start. These are photos of you on the laptop. The moment she knew she was caught, calling corporate on speakerphone, thinking they'd side with her, bold strategy, did not pay off. Thousands of dollars in fraudulent returns, all documented, and she threatened to sue. Good luck explaining that to a judge. Next one.
We live in a neighborhood with a community pool, residents only. You need a key card to get in. I was hosting a birthday party for my daughter. 7th birthday. Invited her friends, rented the pavilion area, had cake, decorations, the works. Middle of the party, a woman I don't know shows up with her 3 kids. I approach her. Hi, are you one of the moms? She says no, she lives 2 streets over, saw the party, thought she'd bring her kids. This is a private party for my daughter's friends. She says, it's a pool. There's plenty of room. My kids wanted to swim. I explain this is a closed party. She can use the pool, but not our party area or food. She ignores me. Her kids run to the cake table, start eating. I stop them. Sorry, this is for party guests only. She gets hostile, says I'm being selfish. It's just cake. Her kids are hungry. Then feed them at home. She tells her kids to swim. They jump in the pool. Fine, whatever. It's a community pool. But then she starts using our pool toys, the ones I brought for the party, sets up at our table. I tell her again, this is a private party. She needs to move to a different area. She says she's not moving. Public pool, public space. I call HOA security. They patrol the pool area. Security arrives, asks for her resident ID. She shows it. Then they ask why she's at a private party. She says she wasn't invited, but has a right to be at the pool. Security explains she has a right to the pool, not to someone else's reserved pavilion and party supplies. She argues. Security tells her to move to a different area or leave. She refuses, gets belligerent. Security revokes her pool privileges for the rest of the summer. Violation of community rules. She starts yelling, grabs her kids, storms out, sends a complaint to the HOA, says she was discriminated against. HOA reviews the situation. Security footage shows everything. Complaint is dismissed. Her pool ban stands. We enjoyed the rest of the summer without her.
Crashed a 7-year-old's birthday party with her kids, uninvited, then acted shocked at consequences. It's just cake. My kids are hungry. There's a grocery store a mile away, ma'am. The confidence to just show up and start using someone's party supplies and then argue when asked to stop? Losing pool privileges for the summer because you couldn't respect boundaries? That's actually perfect justice. Moving on.
Went to see a movie, Friday night. Theater pretty full. Guy sits directly behind me with his girlfriend. They're talking during the previews. Fine, whatever. Previews don't matter. Movie starts, they're still talking. Full volume conversation. I turn around, politely ask them to please be quiet. Guy says, we're just talking. Yes, during a movie that we all paid to watch. He rolls his eyes, says fine. 5 minutes later, talking again. Girlfriend is loudly asking questions about the plot. Guy's explaining everything, like a director's commentary, at full volume. Other people start shushing them, they ignore it. Woman next to me gets up, goes to get staff. Manager comes in, talks to them. They nod. Manager leaves, they're quiet for maybe 10 minutes. Then start talking again, even louder. I've had enough. Stand up, turn around, say very clearly, either be quiet or leave. You're ruining the movie for everyone. Guy stands up, gets in my face. What are you gonna do about it? I'm 6'3" and played college football. He's maybe 5'8". Before I can respond, manager comes back with security. Someone else complained, again. Security asks them to leave. Guy refuses, says he paid for his ticket. Security says he's violating theater policy. He can leave voluntarily or be escorted. Guy starts arguing. Girlfriend looks embarrassed. Security escorts him out. He's yelling the whole way about his rights. Theater gives everyone in that section free movie passes for the disruption. The movie was better without commentary.
What are you gonna do about it? Asked the 5'8" guy to the 6'3" former football player. Reading the room has never been his strength, apparently. The girlfriend's embarrassment throughout this whole thing, she knew. She absolutely knew they were being awful. I paid for my ticket and violated the terms of service by disrupting other paying customers. Ticket doesn't grant immunity. Free passes for everyone else, though. Everyone wins except the talker. Next story.
I work front desk at a mid-range hotel. We get all types of guests. Most are fine, some are nightmares. Family checks in for 3 nights, 2 adults, 3 kids, request late checkout on their last day. I approve it. They seem normal. Checkout day comes, late checkout time passes, they haven't checked out. I call the room, no answer. Another hour, still nothing. I go up to check on them. The door is open. Room is destroyed. Furniture is broken, lamp shattered, food smeared on walls, carpet has burn marks, bathroom is flooded, towels are black with dirt, shower curtain is ripped down. It looks like a crime scene. I call my manager. We go through the room, damage estimate, over $3,000. We have their credit card on file. We charge it for damages. An hour later, the husband calls, screaming about unauthorized charges. Manager explains the damage to the room, says we have photos and video. He says his kids were just playing. Accidents happen. Sir, this is not playing, this is destruction. He demands we remove the charges, says he'll dispute them with his credit card company. Manager says, feel free, we have extensive documentation. He threatens to leave bad reviews. Manager says, we'll respond with photos of what you did to the room. He hangs up. He does dispute the charges. We send the credit card company photos, video, damage report, and cleaning bills. Dispute denied. Charges stand. He leaves a 1-star review saying we scammed him. Manager responds publicly with 1 photo of the destroyed room. Caption, "This is the scam." Review gets reported and removed for being false. We've banned them from all hotel locations. They're on the industry blacklist now. Good luck finding a place to stay next time.
$3,000 in damage, food on walls, carpet burn marks, and he called it playing. That's not playing. That's property destruction. The manager responding to the review with a photo of the room? That's transparency. Getting blacklisted across hotel chains is actually pretty hard to do. You have to really mess up. Good luck finding a place to stay next time. Motels with hourly rates, probably. Last story.
I work in an office. We have a communal kitchen, fridge for lunches. Someone kept stealing food. Every week, different people's lunches would disappear. We tried notes, please don't take food that isn't yours. Ignored. We tried labeling everything clearly. Didn't matter. Food still disappeared. This went on for months. Nobody could figure out who it was. Then I had an idea. A trap. I made a sandwich. Looked delicious. Turkey, cheese, lettuce, tomato, all the fixings. But I added something special. Ghost pepper sauce. The hottest one I could find. Not enough to see, just enough to destroy someone's mouth. I labeled it clearly with my name, put it in the fridge. Lunchtime comes. I'm in the break room, watching. Guy from accounting goes to the fridge, looks around, grabs my sandwich, takes it back to his desk. I follow at a distance, watch from around the corner. He takes a huge bite, chews, swallows. 5 seconds later, his face goes red. He starts coughing, gasping. He runs to the water fountain, drinking frantically, making sounds I've never heard a human make. His face is bright red, sweating, eyes watering. I walk over. Hey, did you take my sandwich? He can barely talk, just nodding, gasping. I made that one extra spicy. Probably should have warned you. Oh, wait. You shouldn't have been eating my lunch. He's dying. Literally dying. Someone gives him Nook. Takes him 20 minutes to recover. He's miserable the rest of the day. I reported him to HR, with witness testimony from people who saw him take the sandwich. HR reviewed security footage, confirmed he'd been stealing lunches for months. He got written up. Final warning, do it again and he's fired. He never stole food again. Nobody did. Word got around. The sandwich is now office legend, the ghost pepper incident.
The ghost pepper trap. Cruel, but effective. Probably should have warned you. Oh, wait, you shouldn't have been eating my lunch. Perfect delivery. Months of stealing. Finally caught because he couldn't resist one more sandwich. And getting written up by HR with security footage evidence. No talking his way out of that one. The office legend status. The ghost pepper incident. That story will outlive everyone who works there. All right, let me wrap this up. So those were 11 stories about entitled people who finally faced consequences. Parking spot thieves, wedding crashers, return scammers, lunch thieves, the full spectrum of I do what I want people. And honestly, the satisfaction of watching them face consequences never gets old. The guy who paid $1,000 in towing fees rather than walk 20 extra feet. The woman who got arrested crashing a wedding in a white dress. The restaurant influencer with 50,000 followers who learned reservations still matter. What strikes me is how genuinely shocked they all were when rules applied to them. The grocery store Karen yelling, "You can't ban me," while being banned. The gym guy threatening to sue over equipment sharing. The hotel family calling damages a scam after destroying a room. They truly believe they're special, that rules are for other people. And then reality hits. Towing fees, arrests, bans, charges that stick, public humiliation. The best part? Most of these consequences were just people enforcing normal rules. Nothing special. Just know you actually have to follow the policy like everyone else. And that's apparently revolutionary to some people. The ghost pepper sandwich is still my favorite, though. Months of theft ended by one spicy trap and HR security footage. Beautiful. If you've dealt with entitled people, and let's be honest, who hasn't, go ahead and like this video. Subscribe for more stories, and share your own Karen and Ken encounters in the comments. I want to hear them. And hey, if you ever find yourself thinking the rules don't apply to me, they do. They absolutely do. And someone's probably documenting your behavior right now. Be better, or at least be prepared for the consequences. Thanks for watching. See you next time.